Hello, good morning. Before I'm on my way to church, I just felt I should share something that God has laid in my heart to share. Most of us have been going to God in prayers for things that we want and making our intentions, our petition known to God. However, some of us have not been getting these answers to our prayer. And God laid it in my heart this morning to say there are some reasons why most of our prayers have not been answered, and that's because of the misconception some of us have about God. So today we're just going to talk briefly about what God is not. The first thing I want to say is that God is not an option. Some of us go to God in prayer as an option. We are just coming there as, okay, this is plan A. If God does not work, I'm going to plan B. I'm going to my uncle. I'm going to my auntie. I'm going to do this. When we come to God as an option, we will not get the things we're looking from God, because God cannot give his glory to a man. When God does something in your life, he cannot allow another man to take the glory. So one of the misconceptions we have about God when we come to him in prayers is that we think God is just an option. No, God is the solution, the only solution. There is no other way except through God. So you need to come to him, one, with that understanding. Secondly, God is not your waiter. Some of us come to God in prayers, we just come to give orders. God, do this. God, do that. God, I want that. God, this. God is not your waiter. He's not there to take instructions from you. He's not there to give you order. Some of us we only come to God when we want something to be done for us, or we want God to fulfill our selfish desires. God is not our waiter. He's not waiting. You don't come to God and start giving instructions. God, this is what I want. This is what... No. You go to God and you say, God, what is your will for my life concerning this issue? What are you saying? What direction are you leading me to concerning this issue? That's one. Secondly, another thing, this one is very important, because I myself have been guilty of that. God is not a murderer. Most of us who have come from Africa, we have this attitude of always praying that God should kill people. My auntie is a witch. God kill her. My uncle is a wizard. Let him die. God is not a murderer. He's not going to... You cannot go to him in prayer and start saying, kill all my enemies. He's not a murderer. God is not a God of confusion. He's a God of love. Instead of praying that God should kill your enemies, pray that your enemies will give their life to Christ. Because when your enemies give their life to Christ, all of us are going to go to heaven. And the more, the merrier we are in heaven. So there's some certain prayers when you pray, and you'll be like, I've been praying for years for this my auntie that is a witch to die. She's not dying. God doesn't answer such prayers. Instead, go and tell your auntie, I say, look, if you don't leave me alone, you are going to give your life to Christ. I will send the Holy Spirit to you. She will leave you alone. Or you go on your knees and say, God, I commit this person in your hands. Do it. But God is not a murderer. We should stop going to God and asking God to kill people. My pastor was saying some Sundays ago that when Jesus came to earth, he had the power to kill Satan. When Satan came to tempt the devil, Jesus had the power to kill him. But did Jesus kill Satan? No. Why? It's not as if he doesn't have the power to. But because God loves everybody, he's waiting for that opportunity. He's waiting for the chance for when that person will come back to Christ. But we Christians, we want everybody dead. We want everybody dead. Do you know that if God were to kill witches in Africa, half of the population will go? If God were to decide today that, okay, all the witches in Africa should die, more than half. Because if you look at it, is there any family in Africa that does not have at least 1 or 2 or 3 witches? The ones we know and the ones we don't know about. But we need to pray for them. We need to pray for them that God will bring them back into the love. So we should have it at the back of our mind when we are going to pray to God that God is not a murderer. So if we want anybody dead, God is not a hit man. He's not somebody you send, go and kill this person. No, he's not a hit man. So that's another thing. Then also, God is not a magician. Some of us come to God, we want everything to be done at a snap. Like, God, do it in 5 minutes. God doesn't work that way. One thing that came to my mind when God gave me this, idea was, he said, let's imagine the Queen of England is going for an event, right? And in the process of going for that event, she comes across a poor man. And the poor man is like, Queen of England, can you give me something to eat? Have you ever seen the Queen of England open her purse and bring out money and give anybody? No. That is how it is. Your God is the King of Kings. There are procedures. There are protocols. There is order. There are ways things need to be done. Even if the Queen Elizabeth wants to help somebody who has not eaten, all she needs to do is call her aides, call her people in place and say, see to this man. And that's how God is. When you come to God and you have prayed and you are giving him your petition, don't start giving him conditions. Don't start expecting him to do magic. Adakadabra. It doesn't work like that. God will follow procedures. When you come to, for instance, you come to him and say, God, I want a car. Okay, you said your petition and you've made it known to him. God now has to look and say, okay, my daughter wants a car. Can she drive? I need to make arrangement for somebody to teach her how to drive. I need to make arrangement for her to maybe get an increase in income so she can afford to buy a car. There are process. We Christians now have come to the point where we don't want to wait for that process for God. God is a God of order. He won't do anything out of order. He will not do it. So when you pray, have it at your back of your mind that God is following protocol to bring that heart desire into pass. Because he doesn't want a situation whereby if he does wuru magic, something goes wrong, his name will be at stake. People will now turn around tomorrow and say, I thought you said it was God that did this. Why is the thing crooked? Why is it bent? No. God follows procedures, protocol, and order. Last but not least, when we pray to God and when we come to God, we should also have it in mind that God is not bound by time. Some of us, we come to God, we are praying for something, but in our mind, there's a time limit. We are like, God, I want to marry. I give you to the end of this year. So when the end of the year comes, he does not do it. You now get upset. You go on social media. God does not work. I pray to him. He doesn't answer prayer. No, God is not bound by your time. If you want to marry, he has heard you. But don't put time limits because our time and his time is different. And it still goes back to what I said about following procedures and protocol. God will follow order. He will make sure that things are done in accordance with his will. So when we go to God in prayer now, we should know all these things. All these misconceptions we have about him. Sometimes they can be hindrance to us getting answers to our prayer. So I pray that with this little talk, we'll have a better understanding when we come to God in prayers and making our petition known that God is not a magician. He is not there to take instructions from us. He is not bound by our time. He is not an option. God is not an option. And also, one last time before I go, it says, God is not there. Some of us will go to God to give him our own plan. God, this is my plan. No, God is not there to take your plans. Instead, you should go and ask him, God, what are your plans for me, for my life? I pray that with this knowledge, we will enjoy our Christianity more. Have a nice day. Bye.